Morning. Dogs have been a nuisance. Let me let these dogs in for a minute so they can say hello. Come on, doggies. What you doing in here? Hello, little boy. Hello, little boy. We're going to do some yoga, yeah? There's my little boy. Okay. Who's been a naughty boy today with the tissues? Hey, who's been a naughty boy with the tissues? Are we not on? Are we not on live? The screen's looking a bit... The screen is looking a little bit dark. What's going on? Oh, Sue's on. Hey, Sue. The screen is looking very dark, so I didn't think we were on. All right, baby boy. Can you see me okay, Sue? Yeah, okay, got a little... Hey, Claire. I'm just saying the screen is looking very dark to me today. Hey, Jules. So if you can see me and you can hear me, yeah, hopefully you can. Babies wants to come in today, so I'll just let them in for a little minute. This one's been a very naughty boy today with the tissues. Very naughty boy, haven't you? Got us up early because he wanted breakfast and then he decided to destroy a tissue. Jules says, hello, naughty boy. How are we all today? Oh, thankfully the sun, well, I say the sun is out. The sky is, all is good. Great. The sky is a bit bluer today, so that's good. That is good. Fair babies, you're going to do some yoga with me today, are you? Should we do some downward dogs, hey? And we do some downward dogs. Oh, and I've got little one licking my toes. Hey, Caroline, he is cute. He's an old boy. He is about 13. We rescued him 12 months ago. And he has been very, very, very poorly for at least the last since we got him, really. Just skin and bone. But now he's on steroids. He's great. He's put a little bit of fat on. He's a cutie. And this one's a naughty one behind me. She's a naughty girl. Yeah, he's a jealous boy as well. So, another sunny day in London as well. Do you know, you've had really good weather since lockdown, haven't you, in the UK? We've had lockdown and our weather's been pants, and you've had lockdown, it's been great. What is going on? So, let me off my feet now, baby. Okay, so we're going to do some inversions today. Which means we're going to be doing lots of forward folding stuff. So taking our head below our heart below our hips. Do you understand, Danny? Yeah. So, good morning, Brenda. If you have unmedicated high blood pressure, so that is if your blood pressure is high but you don't take medication for it, please do keep your heart higher than your hips. I have to think about body parts then. So don't take your head and your heart down below your hips. So you're going to stay in like a half forward fold. We're giving you some options as we go through. Also, if you have any eye conditions such as glaucoma or you've had any recent eye operations, again, same applies. Please don't take your head below your heart. If you have low blood pressure or you suffer with vertigo, just take it easy, okay? Remember to keep your eyes open when we fold forward. Don't close your eyes. It can often make you go a little bit dizzier. So really keep your spot, keep your drishti on point. 3 minutes past, shall we start? So we are going to be starting on the floor. Morning, Arlene. Morning, Valerie. Morning, Sarah Louise Pierce. Come on, Lulu. Out we go. And when we do some yoga... Thank you. You probably hear us scratching and barking at the door now. So we're going to be starting on the floor, on the hands and knees, in our cat-cow dog flow, or cat-cow child dog flow. So our knees are hip distance apart. We've got knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders, and we are going to work with the breath. Hopefully connection is a little bit better today. Morning, Judith. Morning, Tanya, my love. Hopefully connection's a bit better today, the weather's a bit better. So, using our breath. On the inhale, we're going to push the belly to the floor. Draw the shoulder blades towards the hips and lift the hips towards the sky. Front of the body is open. Exhaling, pull up that belly, chin to chest, tailbone towards the floor. Inhaling, heart comes forward, shoulder blades back, bum is high. Exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, lowering. Naughty girl is at the door scratching. She's staring at me. Inhaling, shoulders back, bum high. Hi baby. Exhaling, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhaling. There she goes. I don't know if you can hear her barking. Exhaling. Inhaling. Just feels really nice to open the spine up in this way. And exhaling. So I'm going to start to change it a little bit. Your inhale is not going to change. Your inhale is always going to be here. Your exhale, as you round the spine, bring the bum to the feet. So it's a fluid movement round the spine, bum to feet. Inhale, we're coming up, heart forward, shoulders back, bum is high. Exhaling, rounding the spine, bum to feet. We're getting some movement through the knee joints now. Inhaling, heart forward, hips high. Exhaling, round the spine, bum to feet. Inhaling. Exhale. So don't forget to get the full movement of the spine. So you want that full roundness of the spine as we exhale. And as we inhale and come forward, you want that concave action. Shoulders drawing back, bum is high. Exhaling. So we're going to start to change our exhale. We're going to introduce our downward dog. Our inhale remains the same now. So we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. We're going to alternate this with a child pose. Our inhale stays the same, knees down, concave the spine, bum is high. Child pose, bum to feet, rounding the spine, bum to heels. Inhaling. Shoulders back, bum is high. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Lift the knees, lengthen out the spine. Exhaling, knees down. Last one of these, flow. Bum to heels, child pose. Reach those arms away now. Really stretch those hands in front. And then we're going to come up. So your hands will be slightly in front of your shoulders now, but tuck the toes, lift the knees and come into your plank. So now shoulders come back over wrists, thighs are lifting, belly's lifting. Bend the knees, don't let them drop to the floor, just an inch off the floor, and then push your belly and your chest towards your thighs, and then lift your bum to the sky and drop your heels towards the floor. So in a downward dog. Then we're going to transition forward into plank. Shoulders over wrists. Bend the knees, don't let them touch the floor. Belly and ribs to the thighs. And lift the bum and drop the heels. Inhaling, coming forward to your plank. Bending the knees. You can take to the floor if you really need to. Belly, ribs to the thighs. And lift the bum, drop the heels. One more time. Inhaling forward to plank. Bending the knees. Pressing back. And lengthening the spine. Oh, let's hold it here for a couple of breaths. So your ears, what's inside the arms. You're turning your triceps at the back of your arms, the top of the arms, down towards the floor. So if you're trying to close your armpit, the neck is long, the hips are high, and the heels reaching down towards the floor. Few breaths. This is an inversion. Hips are higher than the heart, heart is higher than the head. Oh, and then we're going to start to walk the feet towards the hands, or the hands towards the feet. Feet are a little bit wider, so you've got at least a hand space between the feet. Knees are bent. Just take hold of the elbows, let the belly and the rib cage drop onto the thighs, and have a little swing here, left and right, little swing. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer, got some mobility in the spine, in the shoulders. Few breaths. Okay. Remember, if you have that unmedicated high blood pressure, you would take your hands on the shins and keep your head and chest here. This is as far as you will go in your forward fold. You can still get a stretch in the hamstrings and the back by bending the knees and lifting the bum. The spine stays long. Okay, everybody now. Hands to hips. Lift the head, lift the chest. Push down into the floor. So if you're trying to push the floor away, use your leg strength to power you up. Lift the pelvic floor, lift the belly. All the way up. Take a big stretch up. Exhale to the floor. Halfway up, long spine. All the way over, nose to toes. And all the way up to the top. Exhaling back to the heart. Whoa, okay. We are going to take a wide leg step. So facing the long edge of your mat, feet are nice and wide. I'm going to turn side on so you can see what's going on. So we've done these wide leg forward folds before, but we're going to do a few rounds of these. So hands start on the hips, I'm going to bend the knees slightly, and then from your hip crease, your hip joint, you're going to push that bum away and bring your chest forward. So you want your spine, your chest parallel towards the floor. So you can hold it here for a moment. Now I'm already feeling a stretch in the tops of my hamstrings here. Why? Because the back is nice and flat. I've bent the knees so I can release the hamstrings a bit in order for me to lift the bum. If I don't bend the knees, this can happen. Pelvis is tucked under, we round in the spine, there's no stretch. So a little bend in the knees and lift that bum high. You feel that stretch at the top of the hamstrings. Okay, deep breath in. Imagine the top of your head is being drawn forward, tailbone's being drawn back. On your exhale, fold deep. So imagine you're trying to bring your belly first, your rib cage, your chest. Hands come to the floor. Now for you, you might be up on the fingertips and you might be staying here. You might even have a block or a cushion to lift you up a little bit higher. This is perfect. You do what you need to do. Remember, this is your practice, it's your body. If you can get your hands to the floor safely and they're comfortably on the floor, you can walk them back so that your fingertips and your toes are in the same line. Soften those knees, lift the bum, lengthen through the spine, shoulders back away from the ears. Exhale, bend your elbows back between the legs. Let your crown of your head drop down towards the floor. Maybe you can walk your hands a little bit further back. So see, I've got this right angle in my elbow joint. But just watch, because your elbows will want to splay out towards your legs. You want to squeeze your elbows together so your upper arms are parallel. Remember, this is just one option. You might be here on your fingertips. Few breaths. Every inhale, you see if you can lift your bum higher, lengthen your back further. Every exhale, we fall a little bit deeper. Next inhale. Lift the head and chest if you're all the way down there. Halfway. Exhale, hands back to the hips or the thighs. Push through those feet, pull in the belly. Lift the heart all the way up. And step the feet together. So when we bring the feet together, rather than, you do a little heel toe, so heel toe, and then bring the feet close enough so you can safely step in. Okay, hopefully you're on a non-slippy surface. I don't want anyone doing the splits today. We are not doing the splits. So no injuries. Please make sure you're somewhere where you're not slipping. Okay, round 2. Hands on the hips. We're going to stay here for a moment. No, we're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one. We're going to open the shoulders. So we're going to take the hands behind, interlock the fingers. Only because I know they can't do everything, so I'm going to have to leave some out. So interlock the fingers. See the heels of the hands, squeeze them together. We don't want this. We want to squeeze them together. That's how they're going to be. Nice wide step. Again, your toes are facing forward, so the outside edges of your feet are parallel with your mat. Shoulder blades together, really squeeze those shoulder blades and elbows towards each other behind you. And push those hands down towards the floor. Lift the heart, pull in the belly. Exhale, start to fold forward, halfway. Same action, we got nice long spine. Okay, take a deep breath in. If we're coming all the way, if you're staying here, you can push into those arms and lift them up away from the back. If you're coming all the way down, exhale, fold forward, let those arms lift, and they travel over. They might lift an inch, they might come up to the sky, they might come over the head, towards the floor. They might hardly move at all, but we're here, we're breathing. Please watch the elbow. You don't want to lock your elbows and twist in the elbows. If you're feeling any pain in your elbows, just release those hands a little bit and then try and squeeze the hands together again. Few breaths. Same action in the body. We're folding forward, soften the knees, lift the bum, bring the chest through. Next inhale, head and chest lift halfway. Keep the hands together, push into those feet, all the way up on your inhale. Reach the hands back behind, lift the chest, and release those hands down. If you're feeling dizzy, just take the hands together in front of you, take palms together, and just gaze towards the thumbs. Just let your gaze adjust. I shouldn't have done that because I'm now distracted by all the thorns in my hands. Been gardening, I've got 2 in my thumb, 1 in my finger. I need to come out today. It's not good. Release those hands if you need to. Step the feet together and then step apart again. Okay, round 3. I'm going to turn this way for you to show round 3. So our feet are the same action. Nice wide feet, outside edges of the feet parallel with the mat. Looks like we've got Emma on this morning. Emma does these forward folds beautiful. She's so good body. Hands on the hips, bend those knees, push the bum away, bring the chest forward. Same action we've just done. I'm going to take 2 fingers on each hand. Index finger, middle finger. Inhale. Exhale, going to reach down to the toes. And you're going to take those 2 fingers between the big toe and the second toe. Lengthen the spine. As you exhale, those elbows come out to the side and up towards the sky. Fold here. Inhaling, lift the bum. Exhaling, fold a little bit deeper. So Emma, if your head is right on the floor now and you've got nowhere to go, I want you to step your feet in a little bit closer so you're not so close to the floor. Next inhale, lift the head and chest, hands to the hips, come up all of the way. Woo. Heel toe those feet together and step them together. Okay, I know in the morning that sometimes our body doesn't move quite as much as we want it to. We need a lot of warming up, we need a lot of mobility before we get into these postures. And to do these postures without having that previous oiling of the joints, if you like, it's okay. Honestly, it's okay. We need to work slowly. You might not get as deep into your posture as you will do at the end of the day. I certainly don't. I always practice a little bit deeper at the end of the day when my body's all warm and supple. But you're still doing your body really good as long as you work within those limitations. So it doesn't matter if you don't get as deep into your posture, you're still really working your body and you're warming those muscles and you're opening them all up. Okay, we're going to come to the top of your mat, so to the short edge of your mat. And we're going to step back with the right foot. Okay, we're not taking a big giant step back. It's not like a warrior type step. It's a little bit narrower than that. But notice that your right hip now is turning out to the side. And we want it to turn forward, but we don't want to twist the knee. So you're going to lift that right heel off the floor and you're going to move that hip towards the front. Notice that your foot will twist round with it, so you're swiveling on the ball of your foot. And then you're going to take that heel back down to the floor. I know some of you feel really unsteady now, so if you're feeling super unbalanced, take your left foot out towards the left side of the mat, just an inch, so you feel like you're on a track more than a tightrope. Okay, so both hips are facing forward now. There's no twisting happening in the knees. Take the hands behind the back. I'm just going to turn around to show you. Taking the hands on the back of the hips, fingers are down. I'm going to squeeze those elbows towards each other so you feel like you're opening up through the chest. So you really open up the chest here. Okay, hips are forward. Now you'll be able to feel where your hips go. I want you to inhale, lift up. You're pressing down into the back of your hips. You're lifting the heart. From that hip crease, you're going to fold forward. So you're pushing that flat hip bone into your hands as you bring your chest forward. What's going to start to happen here is your right hip is going to start to lift up and open. We don't want that. Imagine taking this right hip bone down towards the floor. Lift your left hip up into your hand. Exhale, fold deeper. So we might be here halfway. This might be where you are today. Or you might be able to take your belly all the way over that thigh. Chin towards the shin, nose towards the toes. Feel these hips. So if you feel your right hip is higher than your left, drop it down and lift your left hip up into your left hand. Squeeze those elbows together, keep the chest open. Few breaths. Feel this hamstring stretch along the front of that right leg. Bend that right knee, push into the feet. Come all the way up to the top. Step those feet together, release the hands. Hope you got some idea of where the hips are going now. I really want you to feel that sensation, because if you let this right hip lift too much, you're not going to feel this stretch in that left side. And all your alignment is all going to be all, just use the word skew with. If you've got anybody that's not English on the phone, you possibly won't understand the word skew with. Left foot, step back. Okay, again, we want hips to face forward, so it's good to use your hands on your hip joints so you know where they are. And you think, I know where my hips are, but when you put your fingers out, you can see how far back this left hip is. Lift that left heel, swivel those hips round to the front, swivel round on those back toes, place it back down onto the floor, and if you need to, step that right foot out to the side slightly. Okay, and hands behind to hold the hips. Now if you're really good with your forward folds, the back of your body's really open, you might want to take hold of the elbows. So this is going to keep the chest open. But if you're still struggling keeping those hips level, I advise you to keep the hands on the hips so you can really feel what's happening and where they are. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, fold forward from those hips. Take it slow. There's no rush to get down there. Your weight is even in both feet, so really ground through to your feet, the balls of your feet, the corners of the heels. So imagine 4 corners in your feet. You want all 4 corners pressing down into the floor. Exhale, fold forward a little bit deeper. Using your breath. Your breath is your guide. Inhale, it allows you to lengthen your body and open up your spine. Exhale, that exhale allows you to soften and fold deeper into your posture. Few breaths. Chin to shin, nose to toes. Hopefully you're feeling this stretch up that right hamstring. But don't force it, please don't force it. I don't want anybody popping a hamstring here. It is not a pleasant experience and it'll take a long recovery. So please do not force your posture. Know when your body is resisting and don't try and push through there. Just work with it with your breath. Bend that right knee, push into the floor, come all the way up. Release the hands, step those feet together. Let's take a little flow, hands together, inhale, down, out and up. Exhale to the floor, halfway up, long spine, all the way over, and all the way to the top. Exhale back to the heart. Feet a little further apart, so a little wider than hip distance. Hands on the hips, bend those knees, push the bum away, bring the chest forward. Exhale, let your belly and your rib cage rest against your thighs. So you might need to bend deeper. That's okay. But get this, make sure there's no gap here. Belly, rib cage, chest against the thighs. Then you can work on starting to lift in your bum and straighten those legs. Slide the hands down, take hold of the ankle. So your thumb is in the front of the ankle and your hands wrap around the back and around the heel. Your fingers wrap around the back. Elbows are tucked into the sides of the calf, sides of the knees. Every inhale, try and lift your bum a little bit higher and try and reach your nose towards your toes. Every exhale, bend those elbows a bit deeper. Your gaze is down towards the back of your mat. Few breaths. Take these hands to the floor. Anyone suffering with any lower back problems at the moment, remember you always need to have bent knees if you're suffering with any lower back issues. Always, always. Step those feet back. Bit late telling you that, wasn't I? If you do suffer with lower back issues, you'll have had trouble straightening your legs anyway. Knees to the floor, bum to heels, stretch it out. So again, we've got long spine. Nice reach out there. Okay, coming up onto the knees. So this is another little inversion because our hips again are going to be higher than our heart, but it's also really nice upper back bend and nice to open the shoulders. So our knees are a little bit wider, so we make sure we're nice and balanced. You've got some support. Tops of the feet, all 10 toenails on the floor. And our hips are going to stay above the knees. But we're going to start to walk the hands forward. So hips stay above the knees. We don't want to drop forward here. We don't want the bum coming towards the heels. Hips stay over the knees. But we walk forward, we walk forward, we walk forward. And we let that chest sink down towards the floor. So your hands are shoulder distance apart. Let your heart sink down towards the floor. And your elbows aren't bent here. We're not on the elbows. Really reach those hands away. This is called puppy pose. Or Sanskrit name is Anahatasana, which is heart pose. So this is a great pose for the heart chakra. Few breaths here. Just feel this nice opening in the upper back, in the shoulders. And pushing down into the hands. Walk those hands back towards the knees and find yourself a comfortable position. Back on the knees, back on the feet. Okay, so this one I want you to watch me before you actually do it, because if you're down there you won't know what's going on and you won't be able to see the camera or the screen. So, what we're going to do, we're going to do rabbit pose. Had a moment then. What are we going to do? I know I want you to watch me, but what are we going to do? So we are going to we're back on the heels. We're going to place the forehead on the floor. Just watch me first. The hands are reaching down towards the feet. So you want the hands always reaching back towards the feet. I'm going to place belly on the thighs. So your bum might not get to your heels. You might already be up here somewhere. So you're going to place your forehead as close as you can to your knees. And then as you lift your bum to the sky, you roll from your forehead to the crown of your head, the top of your head. So you see now the hips are coming over the knees. I'm still reaching towards the feet, but all the weight is taken on the top of my head. Well, not all the weight, obviously, because you've got weight on your knees. So you can stay here, or you can roll up and down. Bum to heels, you roll back onto the forehead. Inhale, we roll onto the top of the head. Back onto the heels, the forehead, and rolling onto the top of the head. Okay, if you're sensitive on the top of your head, please double up your mat or get a towel or a blanket or something just to give your head a little bit more protection so it feels more comfortable for you. So this posture is great for relieving anyone who has tension headaches or who suffers with migraines. Obviously, if you've got a migraine, you don't want to be doing this because it will just make you vomit. But I know I've suffered with migraines, they're not nice. But if you do suffer with tension headaches, this is a great posture. Claire, please be careful with this. Claire Dalton, following like recent medical issues. So please work carefully. Hands reaching back towards the feet so that you keep a nice length in the neck. Belly on the thighs. Again, if you suffer with any neck injuries, please just take a child pose. So your child pose here or here. So you don't want to be taking pressure if you're suffering with any neck injuries or you have any brain aneurysms or anything like that. So forehead to the floor. And as you inhale, lift your bum, roll onto the top of your head. And you might want to stay here. Or if it feels really weird, if this is the first time you've been on the top of your head, you're probably going to want to roll upwards and downwards till you get used to that feeling of being on the top of your head. Again, extra padding feels better. Just using your breath. Okay, I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. You're free to roll up and down. Inhale, you're going to roll onto the top of your head. Exhale, you come back, bum to heels. Few breaths. Great for tension headaches and migraines because it is a really good back stretch. It really releases these muscles in the top of the back and the shoulders and the neck. The neck is nice and long. There's no restriction there. There's no crunching up of the neck joint. So if we were in class now, I'd be going around checking that all of your necks are nice and free and long and they're not being squished. And if you're still up here, we're going to take bum back to the heels, roll back onto the forehead. And without moving your neck around too much, just come and lift your chest, lift your head. Take your hands to your thighs, you can close the eyes, keep the eyes closed for a few moments. Few breaths in. And then taking a few blinks, open the eyes. Oh, hope you all enjoyed that. Really brings the blood flow and the oxygen up to the brain. Just feels amazing. Your eyes might, if you look in the mirror, your eyes are going to be brighter. You might have a little flush to the skin. And just bringing all that oxygen and nutrients and minerals up to the head, the eyes, the skin, the teeth, the brain. So loads and loads of benefits from that, just that one little practice. All the forward fold we've been doing, improves the circulation, improves the blood flow, the lymphatic flow, all of those things going on with our standing forward folds and our inversion practice. So we're going to come down onto the back. We've got 2 more things here. If you've got a block or a cushion or something like that, to take, oh God, here he is again, the footman. So you're getting reported, mate. So if you've got a block or a cushion, please do use it. Come down onto the back. Lying on the back, shoulders against the floor, feet are parallel. I'm going to push down into the feet, lift the hips, lift the bum, and if you've got a cushion, you're going to take it underneath your hips to give you that supported bridge pose, supported back bend. Then you're just going to let yourself relax down into that cushion. So your hips are supported. If you haven't got a cushion, you're going to take a more active bridge pose. So you're going to be pushing down into your feet and lifting those hips. Tucking those shoulder blades underneath, reaching down towards the feet. Sarah, if you're still watching, love, can you report that guy that's just come on, please? Thank you. And if you're resting on your hips, just a nice supported inversion. Again, hips are higher than the heart, which is higher than the head. A few breaths here. Now, if you haven't got a cushion, you're going to come and rest on the back of your hands. So sitting on the back of your wrists and your forearms, if you haven't got a cushion, you're going to bring the knees into the chest. If you are resting on a cushion or a blanket or a block, we're going to keep that there. We're going to bring the knees in, and then you're going to take your feet up towards the sky. You can take hands on the thighs and just let the legs rest into the hands. So you don't want any activity happening in your legs right now. If you've got a wall close by you, it's even better to bring your legs up against the wall. So there's no tension happening in your legs, your feet. Few breaths. This is a really great inversion to do because it's very relaxing for the legs. It's great for the circulation. Really good to prevent varicose veins because the gravity, like your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, so it relies on muscle contraction and gravity. Your circulation, once your heart pumps out that oxygenated blood, it relies on gravity and muscle contraction to bring that deoxygenated blood back up to the heart. So inversions are really good to help the gravity. So helping gravity bring that blood flow and lymphatic flow back up into the body. Really good to prevent varicose veins, and again just drawing these nutrients and minerals up towards the top part of the body. So hope you all felt okay. Please drop me a message or put in the comments how you found this inversion practice today. If anyone was going dizzy, and I still go dizzy sometimes as well, no matter how slowly I do it. Always best to keep your eyes open and keep focusing on a spot. So you can stay here with your legs in the air for as long as you want. Okay, if you're feeling comfortable right now, this is feeling good, please just stay here for the next, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, all day if you want. You can't do any harm. Okay, but if you want to come out now with me, if you're ready to move, you're going to bend the knees, going to bring those feet back down to the floor, push into the feet, lift the bum, Take the hips back down to the floor. Bring those knees in, just have a little rock side to side. Few breaths. And then if you're going to take your Shavasana, relaxation, legs come straight out, backs of the hands to the floor. And taking a few breaths here. So I want to thank you all for joining me today with your inversion practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out, enjoy the sunshine if it's sunny by you today. Enjoy whatever freedom you've got. Please stay healthy, happy. Remember your gratitudes every day. To yourself for being an amazing human being. To your yoga practice, for showing you space in your body, space in your mind. And to someone or something in your life that you feel grateful for today. Thank you so much. Love the inversion, Jan. Thank you. You're welcome, Carmen. You're welcome, Valerie. Freda, enjoyed it. Beautiful. Have a lovely day, everyone, and I shall see you in the morning for some Friday flow.